Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name's Lizzie and you can find me on Instagram as this Mrs Fisher _stitches or here on YouTube as well. This is a channel primarily about cross stitch and I want to start by saying sorry it's been so long. Life has got incredibly busy since I started working full time, and recently life has thrown us many a curveball which we have batted successfully to the outfield, and we are just cruising along one day at a time. At the moment we're having a new kitchen installed, so our kitchen is now in the dining room and the kitchen is currently empty waiting for the fitters on Monday to come and start work. My husband's been plastering all week, which is a new skill for him, so well done him. I thought as it's been so long I would do a WIP Parade today, because as one of my viewers mentioned, thank you Fiona, that viewers stroke very good friends, Fiona, mentioned I have a number of new starts since I last made a video, and I also quite like watching WIP parades, and also I don't know how many WIPs I actually have, so if we could try and keep count. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I will try and keep count while I'm going along. I have no notes. I have two sleeping dogs on the sofa behind you, and so they may come and join me, they may not. They're both Dachshunds. They have been for WALK and they have been FED, so unfortunately I think they're learning to spell as well, but you know, hopefully they'll leave us alone. My husband may come back from doing the weekly shop, in which case I will pause this video to help him unpack, as we have nowhere to put stuff, so it's going to be a big juggling act. So without much further ado, there's no order to these. The ones I'm going to show you straight away are what I've been working on most recently because they're out. So probably all new starts since, if you watch my videos since you last met me here, and that's okay. I have a, what's the word, knack of starting things when I'm busy and stressed. I just like to start. I don't like to look for a new an old project. I like the excitement of starting a new one. So one of my most recent new starts is this. It's a Tiny Modernist Stitcher's Heart. Now my friend Fiona and I went halves on the thread pack from Evertote because Roxy Flossco died a special thread pack. Sorry, there is going to be a lot of crinkling and rustling, I'm afraid, and zips and things, because I'm going to try and keep it all tidy. I've been saying that all my life, I'm going to try to keep things tidy. I don't. Mess is my middle name. Mess is not my middle name, but if it were to be, it would be quite apt. So these are the colours that we're stitching it in. They're a bit of a mess because Mess is my middle name. There we are, they're beautiful. I have added another colour, which you're about to see. It's another Roxy Flossco colour called Gilbert. It was one of a kind, and I bought, I think, 3 skeins of it when we did our order. I've lost my bit of cardboard I used to use. Ooh, random thread in a needle. Oh yes. So I've changed one of the colours out. The colour in, this is as far as I've got. Done all the words obviously, and I've changed the colour here. It was supposed to be this golden colour, and I've changed it for Gilbert's one of a kind. And one of the ladies here is going to be wearing purple, the Gilbert colour, because that's my favourite colour. I've changed out what it says inside the hoop to have my initials and a little heart. So I'm probably about half, 2/3 of the way there. Those ladies are going to be some serious stitching and counting, and sometimes my head's just not in the space for serious stitching and counting. Sometimes it needs something a little bit easier. I'm stitching this on 16 count Affogato by Fibre on a Whim, which I purchased from the wonderful Patchwork Rabbit. I'm holding this thread here because I've obviously got as far as threading a needle. This lady here, I've done the face of, is going to be me, and it's going to have fallow red hair because I think at the moment it's quite a good match. So I just grabbed a thread of Falu red. A thread of Falu red I grabbed from another project, which you will see my progress on in a bit. So that is A Stitcher's Heart by Tiny Modernist, and its project bag is just here. These are the project bags I bought from Amazon. I saw somebody at the Floss Friends UK retreats in May using them, and I thought, you know what, I love homemade floss, what are they called, these things? I love homemade project bags and I love making them. However, I don't have enough time in my life to stitch as it is, so I just went and bought some. And I have got a new one coming in the post, which is very exciting, which I'll share with you maybe. This is my project bag my sister bought me for my birthday. I think she meant me to keep makeup in it, but as you might know, I don't really go for makeup unless it's a really serious occasion, and I thought that would make a lovely project bag. And the project that I'm keeping in here, I have been working on last night, so excuse me, I'll just get it out of the tray. It is, let's find the front page, Fine Frog Stitching, Fine Frog Stitching, Prince Pondworthy. I love frog princes, anything with a frog prince, and I have to. I'm stitching this on some random, looks like 18 count Ada. My mum was donated it by a friend and asked if she knew anybody that would use it, and of course my mum's like, yeah I do. This is where I'm at. I'm working on his coat. Last night I did the dark blue, and that's the dog grumbling, I promise. I love him. I can't wait to have him on my wall. I've got a frame in mind. I said to a friend, I've got a gold oval frame because that'll go really nicely if it fits in it. I haven't. I've got a frame, an oval frame and some gold leaf. Put the two together eventually and I've got a gold oval frame. So that is Prince Pondworthy. He's one of my main projects at the moment because I love him. I love him, I love him, I love him. I'm just putting threads away while I've got it. Next project that I've got out currently is, let's see if I can find the front page for you. She says, sorry about this, callers. Long Dog Samplers, their new release, which is called Saga. Now we have a sale going. I don't know if we've got a hashtag for it, but I will check. Me and lots of people on Instagram. So if you want to join us, just send me an Instagram message to this Mrs. Fisher _stitches, and we can add you to the group. It's a very active group. And there was a whole saga getting it into Pattern Keeper. It's possible, but you just have to be very careful about resizing the chart, and because Pattern Keeper adds extra rows and things. So that was our saga on getting started. So I'm stitching off the paper chart because I tried it once and then we found another issue that added an extra column or deleted a column, and then we had to add an extra row as well. And I thought, you know what, I've got it on paper, I'll just go with that. So without more shenanigans, drama, here is my start. It's a weeny start. I've got a little chicken. Let's see if it focuses. Is it going to focus? There we go. That's my little chicken. I'm starting in the top right corner, and I'm going to work, for this one, I'm going to work across the top and then down. For some reason I just wanted to stitch the chicken first, so that's where, well, I started in the top corner, worked across and sort of down towards that chicken, and that's where I'm at. I shall take that out of the hoop because I'm not sure I'm going to stitch on that again anytime soon. Well, I probably will. And I'm stitching this on 28 count Zweigart Antique White. I've got a massive bed sheet of a piece of fabric because I didn't know how big the pattern was when I ordered my supplies because I wanted to start it straight away. And I got it on the Saturday after it was released on the Friday, so that was good. And I'm stitching it in CXC Threads, colour 798. Gosh, choosing my colour was a bit of an issue. The lovely people I get my CXC from on Etsy, I'm just seeing if I've got their card. Oh gosh, without breaking anything or pouring a cup of tea on all my other whips. I've got their card in here, look. So I get mine from Cross and Crafts on Etsy. And it's all one word on Etsy. So that's where I get my CXC. And I got the the even weave from them. And I said, oh, I'd like 15 skeins of whatever colour I chose first. And they said, yep, that's not a colour. And I was like, it is, because I was looking at a DMC colour chart on the internet. And I said, oh, okay. How about this colour? They said, well, that's a lovely pink, but it's not the colour you're looking at. I said, because I was deciding between a blue and an orange. I said, okay, the fates have spoken, I'll go for orange. How about this colour? I said, that's a lovely orange, how about this colour? And she said, we've got that colour, but it's not orange, it's pink. And she sent me a phone. I was like, what? Realised I was looking at an Anchor colour chart, not a DMC one. So then we decided between me and her, bless her, on 798. So that's the same as DMC 798, and it's gorgeous. I like stitching with CXC. 1/1 on 28 count is perfect. So that's that one. And then the next one I've worked on recently. Oh, so how many whips is that now? 3. So this is number 4. Number 4 is another long dog that I started very recently. Quinto Acuto, the Pointed Fifth. And I've started this one in this corner. I'm stitching it on Zweigart Olive Green, I believe, in DMC. It was the DMC that I was using for this year's Modern Folk Embroidery Sale, which I have not finished. I'm DNFing it because I just made so many mistakes in it. I just can't be bothered anymore. 3860. My husband calls it the Chocolate Lime Project because the colours look a bit like a chocolate lime. So it's 32 count, 1/1. And there's my little rabbit and my little pig. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Oh, you don't want to see my finger, do you? There you go. My little rabbit and my little piggy wig. I enjoy stitching over one because you have to really slow down. You can't be stressed because if you're stressed, your thread pulls under the thingy. So it's really good mindful stitching, that is. And those two projects both live in this really delightful project folder. It's a pink popper. Oh, that's not pink, it's blue. It's a blue plastic popper wallet, and the popper doesn't do up because it's too full. No, it doesn't. Okay, so that's my tray of works in progress is empty, so that's good. Oh, look, there's a big blue thread there. That's, I think, from Quinto Acunto. No, Saga. Okay, so we've done those 4. The next one next to me is something I thought I'd carry on working for my husband, and I did about 3 rows, made him fix a frame stand for me, and then I got bored and started on working with something else. So this is the Class Combine Harvester by Sky Stitching and Photos. So they obviously took the photo and then charted it. My husband is a bit tractor mad. I bought this for him a number of years ago for his birthday, probably about 3 years ago, and this is really tragic. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it was during lockdown, so it's 2020, so this year it'll be its 3rd year in this month, and that's all I've done in 3 years. I really ought to push a bit harder, shouldn't I? So you can see That's that corner there. If I work up the page, I'll get some of that red cutty thing in. I think I just need to crack on through this boring bit, and then when I actually get to stitching the machine, it'll be quite fun. That's the plan. That's a bag of a project that's not started, so I don't need to show you that. That was number 5. Okay. That's an empty project bag. That's good. Number 6. Oh, number 6 isn't what I thought it was. I haven't seen this one in ages. Number 6 is a historical sampler company stitch along from last summer, maybe the summer before. I think it was the summer before. And I'm stitching this on some very weird fabric. It's a Zygarde. Or is it a DMC? It's like... No, it's this Zygarde because it's got that orange thread. Anyway. I think it says think happy, be happy when it's finished. It's a square. And then I've got all that material, so I really ought to crack on with it, and then I've got some material I can use. It's a 28 count, and I'm doing it 2/2 with obviously the threads that they call for. Got quite far for me. This was, I think I started this before I started stitching in hand. I think now I'm a stitch in hand person. I mean, on my 1/1 I definitely don't stitch that one over hand. In 1/1 I use this little frame for, or similar frames. I've got a couple now because people have kindly given them to me. That was project 6, not the project I thought was in that bag, so that's interesting. Project 7, that's another empty project. Project 7, oh, this was my only month of WIP Go. Don't know if you remember when I did WIP Go for a month. I thought, no, I don't want to be told what to stitch, I want to stitch what I like. And this is Moo by Bothy Threads. It's a Hannah Rendell piece. You can see the cow is licking its nose. I've done quite well. Have I got a picture? Must have one somewhere. But I'm not easily tanned, so anyway, that's Moo by Bothy Threads. That was piece 7. Whew. That's all in there. Now that got boring again because it's just brown, 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 brown. Here's a piece that isn't boring, but for some reason I don't stitch on it very often. And it is The Bear by Cottage Garden Samplings. So this is piece number 8, WIP number 8. If you can call that a WIP, because I haven't even started on the bear. But it's gorgeous fabric. It's from Pole Stitches, I believe. Nice, nice, nice. I've got a few other of the charts from that series in the same bag, which is one of those makeup bag thingies or toiletries bags from, I think it was from M&S. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So number 8 in another little zippy bag from M&S. It came in a set of 3, so somewhere there's a third one. This is not going to look like masses, and I'm afraid I haven't got my tablet to show you what it's going to look like, because that is what you're resting against because I couldn't find my tripod this morning. This is going to be Walkways in Monochrome by Stitching Jewels Designs. I think that's what it is. So it's a monochrome piece, and the colour is made up of the density of the stitching. But I'm using, to make it less monochrome, I'm using Creme Brulee by Roxy Flosco, because this is a piece of a picture. Oh no, genius, genius. That's what it's going to look like. And I chose Creme Brulee because it will look like stone, like sandstone. Is it sandstone? Yeah, it is. There we are. I'm doing this on 32 counts Vigart, even weave, 1/1. And yes, Fiona, it hasn't grown recently, so I might be buying lunch. So we worked out that this might be Laycock Abbey in Bath, and my friend Fiona and I have a little running joke that if I finish it in under 10 years from when she said, which was about half a year ago now, and I'd worked out how many stitches it was, and I was doing really great guns, but then we started something else. If I finish it within 10 years, she will buy me lunch when we go to Laycock Abbey to take the picture. If I finish it in over 10 years, she thinks more like 20, she buys lunch. No, she buys lunch either way at that rate. I'm okay with that. Thank you, Fiona. You're going to buy me lunch. Okay. Here's a new start that, again, I can't show you because I haven't printed it out. This is when my headaches get too much. It's a Carolyn Manning chart. It's one of those ones where they all tile together. It's one of her star charts, I think, and this one is called Opal. And it has the most beautiful colours. Look at that. Ooh. So this is really lovely to make a headache feel a little bit better. I get a lot of headaches, so having a project that I know I can stitch on. So that's number 9. Having a project that I know I can stitch on when I've got a headache makes having one less frustrating. Okay, project 10 and 11 are in this bag. So project 10 is Circa Circles by Ink Circles, which I'm stitching in DMC 352 on a piece of Stitchy Ferret fabric in Pastel Skittles, I believe. And I've got that far. And I tend to only work on this when I'm at a retreat or stitching on a Zoom. And as you can see, I don't go on enough retreats or stitch on enough Zooms. Also in this bag is a pair of scissors, that's nice, is Circa Triangles by Ink Circles. And this I'm stitching on a piece of purple fabric by Pole Stitches, I think. Ada, 16 count, maybe 14, I'm not sure. In Weeks Dye Works Beachcomber. These colours are my childhood. I love them. I love light green and purple, sort of like minty colour and purple. They are my absolute favourite colours. So that's 8 and 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're at number, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Gosh. Gosh, gosh, gosh. I haven't started that yet, but I've getting it up. Haven't started that yet. Sorry for the twisting and the turning. All my projects live just here, you see. They're all living on my leg right now in front of me. So number 13, I stitched this at work. It lives in this little bag. I'm not sure why I'm not keeping it in the bag it came with. This is a Cape Blanford booty box. I went for the work safe version, which comes with stitching stuff written on it. That's just another project kitted up in there. I'm using this little patchwork bag that one of my mum's friends gave to her, and she didn't have a use for it, so she gave it to me. Now the kit came with very vibrant threads with what are these called? Floss drops. They're in the shape of bobbins, so if you bobbinate, that's great. As you can see, that's very tangled. It also came with a pair of scissors. Love them. Can't show you the pattern or what it's going to look like but I can show you how far I've got. This is my work project, and sometimes at lunchtime I just sit and look at the walls because that's all I can cope with, because my job's quite boring at the moment. I've only got another few weeks left yet, so I'll talk about that later. And that's where I've got, so it's all just backstitch at the moment. That's focusing a bit better. So yeah, it's going to say, it's supposed to say hell yeah, I think. Yeah, but I'm going to change it to say oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'd rather do. It's less stitching. Suits me fine. Maybe a quicker finish. 13. Okay. What's in this one? Lots of these bags I make myself. This one I didn't. This is not another project bag. I think they're called. Oh, that's a finish. Okay, that's a finish. So I can't. Well, I can show you a finish. Strongman Stanley, and here's my did not finish, will not finish. Modern Folk Embroidery Stitch Along. And then, so number 13, I've got this tiny start on the other end of the fabric of an Ink Circles Patreon project. Can't even remember what it's called. When I decided not to finish I was at my mother-in-law's and I had another couple of days to spend there, and I needed to stitch. Oh, I didn't even have another couple of days, I think I had half a day. And so I decided to use the leftover threads from Strongman Stanley to start an Ink Circles, a little dinky one. And I need to pull that out. Now I know where it is. I might get that done sooner rather than later. Oops, there's the threads. 13, 14, 13, 14, 14, I think. 15. This is the MFV, the Modern Folk Embroidery Cell from 2021, The Fruit of Plenty, which I'm stitching with these random hanks of thread. Well, they're not hanks because they're all length, they're all chopped, which I bought in 1996 for £1 a bag, and they've moved house for me ever since, and I'm really glad I've finally got a project I'm using them for. Here's my progress. It's 32 count Zweigart linen. It's definitely linen. I love it when I look at it like this and think, oh, this should go on the wall. But it's got a little bit way to go. I really enjoy stitching on it when I do stitch on it. But I'm not in the mood for it at the moment. Because I've got lots of other yummy things that I've started as well. This I really enjoy stitching on, but I definitely have to be in the right mood because it's 40 count. This is Isabella Creasy from Whilst Ira Snaps, and that's what it's going to look like. So those are just little labels I've printed I've taken like a screenshot, printed it out and then laminated it so I know what's in each project bag. I did that a little while ago, and I'm stitching this on 40 count with the called for, which is mostly Weeks Dye Works, I think. Two over two, no, 1 over 2. 1 over 2 on 40 count, and it's a Zweigart something or other. Doesn't seem to have any mottling, so maybe it's just a cream. Got loads of it. Can anybody remember what number I'm on? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this one is number 16. In a Stitchy Ferret bag, which I won it, I think. No, I bought it. She had a competition maybe, and anyway, I bought this and got her to put Clever Girl on it because I was proud of an exam result or something I was doing. And this is Little Dove Designs Gnomeville, and it was the Sal. And guess what? I got behind, stitching it on 28 count, 1/1. Oh, it's gorgeous. My needle's in my fabric and it's all folded up, and oh dear. Is there thread in that needle? No. Okay. There's thread in the zipper pull. Oops. Let's find a little bit of something to hold up with it. Sorry, crinkle, crinkle. I'm just looking for a piece of cardboard. Magic. There we go. 1/1, 28 count. And it's a DMC fabric actually. DMC. Doesn't look too slubby, so maybe it's a DMC even weave. I'm not a great fan of it, if I'm honest. But isn't it cute? Fiona, I don't know why you don't make me stitch on this more. That one's staying out. Okay. Oh, needle. Let's put that back in. Sorry, big hand. Ooh. Right. That one can stay out as well. What was the other one I said I was going to keep out? Don't know. Put that one over there because it's staying out. 16? Let's go with 16. 17. Oh gosh. Started this on Christmas Day 2020. And I went great guns. This is a Stitcherovia piece from Emma Congdon. And it was supposed to go in our kitchen. We're having our kitchen done now. I'm not sure a great pink biscuit sampler is going to fit in. Maybe it doesn't matter that it doesn't fit in. Maybe I should finish it for our kitchen. 17. 1/1 on a very dirty piece of 32 count even weave. 2/2 on 38 count even weave. I think I said that was piece number 17. 18 is Birds from Bernhard's Books, Modern Folk Embroidery. I have worked on this year. Pleased with where I got. Stitching this on a piece of Stitchy Ferret fabric, but I can't remember the name of it, and I haven't got the tag. Isn't that lovely? Woo! So, I was going to stitch on it at the Floss Friends Retreat, but I did this and I realised I should have been using one thread instead of two. Although now I look at it, I don't think it matters. So I didn't stitch on it at that retreat anymore, and I haven't stitched on it since. Oh, imagine that on a wall. Pop, pop, pop go the colours. Was that 18? And I've just used colours pretty much pulled at random. I think that's number 18. I think my husband may have just got home. Oh well, let's keep going. Number 19 is a Mill Hill. So it's a bad picture, I'm afraid. It's a Mill Hill project on paper, perforated paper. Yeah. It's called Caught in Foggies. Sorry about the glare. And this is as far as I've got. This is quite good. I'm finding all my highlighters and all my needle minders. And that's as far as I've got. And again, it wouldn't take too long to finish if I put my mind to it. But I don't want to at the moment. Oh look, empty shelf. Now then, that's not started. That's not started. 19? Well, the Mill Hill one was 19. This is started. This can be number 20. So this is where I got my Fallow Red for my lady earlier. This is, can't remember the name of the project, but I call it the Yule Goat. The Modern Folk Embroidery. He may have called it Yule Goat. I haven't got very far at all. I've got a dangling thread and a needle. Number 20 is That Pitiful Start. 36 count Dirty Porcelain from Roxy Flossco with Fallow Red Roxy Flossco thread, and I'm stitching it 1/2. I'm sure it's 36 count. 36 count's not really my go-to. I like 32 1/1, 32 2/2. 36 count I'm not a great fan of, but hey ho. Here's another new start. So that was number 20, so this is number 21. And it's Bothy Threads Oh Christmas Tree. I love it. I quite enjoy stitching on it as well, but it went away because I started something else. Because that's what I do. I start all the things. That's as far as I've got. Look at the size of this piece of Ada. Came with the kit. 16 count, I think. 16 count speckled fabric. I love Bothy Threads. I'm very excited that I got FOMO when the advent calendars came out, so I'm getting a Bothy Threads advent calendar when they come out. That's very exciting. It was quite affordable, compared to some I could afford it. Can't afford them all, unfortunately. So it's another 2 Bothy Threads that I've started. It's Crinkly because I do keep them in their envelopes. So this is Age is Irrelevant. Started this when I was doing my degree and I've obviously done a fair bit of frogging because there's some very, very curly threads. I should pick this back up, shouldn't I? Look at it. Isn't that nice? Age is irrelevant. As we're all getting older, that couldn't be more true. So that's obviously stitched on their Ada with their threads. 2/2. No, 2/1 because it's Ada, as they call for. The next one is First Kiss. My mum bought me this for my birthday this year. My daughter bought me a mug with this pattern on for my birthday this year. And I've started it. I remember this got a lot of frogging and a lot of toing and froing. And I believe it goes that way up. That's as far as I've got. Oh, I stopped counting. I stopped counting at the goat. Goat was 20. 21, 22, 23. $24 is an anchor chart, which I started in February for February. And I don't think I got very far. It was a kit, so I'm doing it on the kitted Ada. Look at my little bird. He's so cute. He's so incomplete. But I do like it. I do like it. Did I show you the front? So I've started on this little guy. Oh, my leg's on sleep. 24. 25. Another new start. I'm stitching this with Crafting with Natalia. My husband had a cardio version recently, and I needed something to distract me. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So here is my distraction in all its glory. So the kit came with 16 count Ada, I think. Yeah. Which I'm using to do this Barbara Anna piece, which I think is genius. Use what you've got. I'm doing a baby koi pond. Look, look, look. Let's see if I can get it really close. So 1/1 on 15, 25 count Ada. Isn't that scrumptious? I just love it. I would work more on this now. Trouble is I need a table to sit at because the chart is like this big. And we don't have a table at the moment. The dining table has got the kitchen on top of it. 25, I think. That's not started, probably never likely to be. That's not started, a shame. That's not started, shame. That is also not started, shame. Not started, not started, not started, but kitted up, not started. Definitely not started, not started, not started. Oh my gosh, all these lovely kits I've got to start. Maybe I should do a kit parade one day. So let's move on to these folders. That's a cotton and twine I haven't started, but want to. Okay. In my Project Keeper by Tiger Lily Designs, this is like one of my prized possessions. You should, if you don't watch Carrie of Tiger Lily Designs, you are missing out. This is one of my most coveted things. Her energy is amazing. I want it. I want it, I want it, I want it. What number were we up to? 25. So this makes number 26. Look, I mean, they're gorgeous. Look inside. Whoa. So number 26 is a kit my daughter bought me for Christmas a couple of years ago. It's a Violis kit, so it's got sort of like woolly threads, and it's a Dachshund, which looks quite remarkably similar to my boy. And this is as far as I've got now. This is coming on holiday with me because I want to get a lot more work in it. Going away week after next on my own. Well, with my dad, but we're not spending masses of time together. So this guy is coming with me. So I want to get more work done in him because I think he'd look fine hanging on the wall. And then in the other side, I've got Floral Etchings by Heart in Hand, which looks a bit like, well, looks a lot like, because that's the pattern. That. And I'm stitching this on some Stitch Bunny fabric. Oops, and my threads are unraveling. I'm not using, I don't think I'm using the called for DMC. I'm using the called for if I have it, and then very nearly the called for. And this is a piece called Mocha. It was a test piece, so there are a couple of ink splats. And that's as far as I've got. Started it during the coronation because it's a nice easy chart to follow, but I still managed to make a lot of mistakes because I wasn't really paying attention to my stitching. That's fair enough. So that's what's in there. That needs to stay out because it's coming to Scotland. Where's that project? Speaking of Scotland, I've got one on the go called Flower of Scotland. So that's 25, 26, 27. This is number 28. My husband's going to come home and he's going to have to dig me out with an excavator. This is number 28. It's called Flower of Scotland by CXC Threads. I should probably work on this before I go to Scotland. My friend Fiona bought me, look at all these colours. Ooh, they're on Floss Drops by Jessica Stitching. I think that's what her chart's called, Jessica Shepherd. I transfer most of my kits onto Jess's Floss Drops because it's easier than the cardboard. Where was I? Fiona bought me a lovely piece of this commemorative fabric, and that's as far as I've got with the pattern, so let's hold it up. I thought I would use this commemorative fabric to stitch this on because it's quite apt as they're in their military regalia. It's gonna look fine. It's gonna be a lot of back stitching, but that's okay. I don't mind back stitch. I understand why people do, because they want the finish. You know, you've done all that cross stitch and now I want it to be finished, and then you realise, I call this all the king's horses in my head, by the way, not the Flower of Scotland, because it's got a little pony and it's the king's pony. Is that number 29? Sorry, I'm seeing what else I've got behind me that I can't reach. 29. $30. Here we are, Fiona. Oh no, it's not in there. It's not in there. Where's it gone? Oh lordy. So somewhere I've got a piece of... Yeah, that's gone AWOL, sorry. Somewhere I've got a project that I'm doing with Fiona. I can't find it. There we go, Fiona, that's why I've not done it. I've lost it. It's a Carolyn Manning Gnomes piece. And I have not finished it. And Fiona has. I think she's even got hers framed. Hey ho. Let's move on with things that I do know where they are. This... Hello, my name is Lizzie. This is a gorgeous piece. I can't show you what it's going to look like because it's a stitch along and it's a hidden stitch along. What are they called? Mystery stitch alongs. It's by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I haven't stitched this month's release yet, but I will. Ta-da! And it's another piece of Stitchy Rabbit fabric. Stitch Bunny fabric. Stitch Bunny shop. It's called Spring Air. And it's 14 count. Stitching it 2 over 2 in the called for DMC. Look at that little dragon. He was a pig to stitch. I tell you, I was unpicking and stitching and frogging and stitching and frogging. The next bit that we've had released and I need to do, so this needs to stay out, is the grass and the lake and a little monster in the lake. Let's call her Nessie, as I'm going to Scotland. So we'll keep this one out as well. This is my project folder that I've made with Tiger Lily's pattern, because she does patterns as well, and an amazing YouTube video if you've bought the pattern. Mine are floppy, hers is lovely and firm. Here's another one. This one hosts my 2 long dog samplers. Of course, I've got 4 now. It hosts Ragnarok and Pandemic. Ragnarok, I am stitching in DMC 550, 1 over 1 on 25 counts. I think we're probably up to 33, 32, 32. I've started on the top right hand corner and I'm working downwards, then I'll go and do the pages like this. This horse was a beast. And I think I've got an extra horizontal row in my pattern keeper, because this is the top of the kitty cat and its eyes looked wrong on the pattern keeper compared to what the pattern is, so I just need to be very careful. I might try and fix it in pattern keeper and colour in again what I've done. Fortunately it's only 1/1 in one colour, so it's quite easy to do. And then on the other side of my pattern folder keeper thing is Pandemic, which I started the day before World Cross Stitch Day 2020. Sat in my friend Fiona's garden on a sunny day because we were allowed to meet outside during the pandemic for that, and that's as far as I've got with that. 1/1, 25 count, using DMC. Oh, what colour is that? I'm going to need to buy some more, that's for sure. 3809. Love it! With a Just Get Stitching needle winder. Why do we have to go to work? You know, some days I just sit there and there's nothing to do. I'm not allowed to stitch. Rubbish. I finish in a few weeks. I've got a week next week, then a week's holiday, or 4.5 days holiday, and then another week, and then I'm done there and starting the next chapter of university, which slightly scares me. $29.30. Don't know. I'll count when I put them back away. Okie dokie. So enjoy all the little things. Cotton and Twine, January 2023. Should have finished it ages ago. Stitching on this beautiful fabric. Again, another Stitch Bunny. It's called Full Fun Test Piece 1. It's 14 count. And it's upside down. Here comes the husband. There we go. Back in a bit. So all the shopping's put away now, and the husband has actually gone out to do a run to the tip because we've got some DIY bits. In fact, he's since tidied up a few of his tools into the living room. So I've got plastering tools in a bag here and a thing in a box there. I believe I just showed this project, so let's go on to the next project. So I think we're up to, this will be number 33, and it is the Holiday Countdown Sal from the Modern Folk Embroidery Roxy Flosco Evertote collaboration. However, I didn't buy the advent box, so this is a Modern Folk Embroidery me collaboration, and I'm using my own pull of DMC on some Stitchy Ferret fabric. Again, I haven't got the card with the colourway on, but these are the colours that I'm using. So it's DMC 3849, 20, 347 and E3849. The E one is the sparkly one. As you can see, I didn't actually get very far because it's a double-sided thing and probably should come down to about here. I like it. I just got sidetracked and started something new. So that's number 32, I think. I counted them back, so I tidied up when Matthew came home. Tidied up, put them away, and I think that was number 32. Number 33 is a start that I haven't got a picture for, unfortunately. It's called Cellboot Winter, maybe. I'm stitching it with some beautiful Mrs. Sadus silk that Justine gave me. Thank you, Justine. And I'm doing it on a massive, oh my gosh, massive piece of white 32 count Zweigart. And there's my start. So the Cellboot design is 3 triangles that you sew together to make a 3-sided pyramid. I haven't actually got very far, but I just love stitching with Mrs. Sadus silk, but I love this as maybe like, let's see if I can show you, like on a white or black, or any colour really, but then with a contrasting border. Wouldn't that be lovely? I just think that's a beautiful pattern for that type of thing. So maybe I'll get some, you can sort of get not Ada ribbon, ideally, some even weave ribbon is what I'd like. I could always make my own. And maybe stitch some bands to stitch onto clothes. That'd be amazing. It'd have to be colour fast floss that I was using, wouldn't it? So that's number 33, I believe. Number 34, I don't think you can even call it a start really, how much I've done, and I'm probably going to frog it and change the colourway completely. It's the Heart Sampler by Kit Cole. Oh, I might do this for Sampler September. I'm not decided whether I'm going to do Sampler September, but I've seen it in a colourway, and I can't remember the person who sent it to me, but I've got them in my Instagram account. They've done it in a sort of purpley blue colourway, and that's more my colour. But then would I do it on this fabric? I don't know. Anyway, here is my start. Teeny tiny. I've probably done it, I don't even know what way up I've started. I might frog and start again. Probably on different fabric. That's a piece of Coffee Craft fabric, 16 count. Or it might even be 14 count actually. I like 14 count, it's quite easy to stitch on when your eyes are tired and you've got a headache. So anyway, yeah, that's a teeny tiny start on that. I'm just putting these things away because life is short, and I've got to go out in a bit to do some washing at my mum's house while she's out for the day. So this is my next one, and again it's another piddly little start. This is Hydrangea Fairy by Joan Elliott Designs. I love this pattern. I don't think I love the fabric I'm stitching it on though. It's a linen, and I much prefer an even weave. So here it is. I think it's that way up. Not ironed, obviously. So there we are. That's as far as I've got. I think that's the right way up for it, yes. I've also got the Sunflower Fairy pattern, which was a limited edition pattern, and a nice piece of even weave to stitch that on, so I might get another piece of even weave to go with it. Alternatively, I think if I just put this in a hoop, it could work. I think this is a Stitchy Ferret fabric, but it's definitely not an even weave, which I like. I've got all the threads and everything to stitch that, and the beads. I've got so many projects that I want to start, and so little time to do them. And I started this to celebrate getting into my Masters, and my Masters course starts in 3 weeks. Is it 3 weeks? Might be 4. And yeah, I thought I'd have good progress, and that lives in my project keeper that I made for myself with a slight adaptation to the pattern by Tiger Lily Designs. Okay, what's next? Next up, so that was number 30, 33, 34, 35. So this is number 36. And this is a project that I'm stitching for my girlie called Bunny. And this is how far I've got. I'm stitching this on a piece of 36 count sparkly Coffee Crafts fabric. It did come with Ada in the kit, but I thought this sparkly Ada was much nicer. But it's 36 count, and I'm doing it with 2 threads for some reason. Because it's 36 count, it's quite slow going for me. I need to use my magnifiers. But as it's her birthday in a few weeks' time, she's just sat over there, I'm going to hopefully get a good crack on that in the next couple of weeks, and certainly while I'm on holiday. So that was number 35, I think. Number 36, and something I really hope to have been finished by now, but I just haven't because I'm me. And there's loads of these in the series, in the Cross Stitch magazine. Little Dove Stitching is releasing these cottages, and I want to stitch them all because I like them as a series. I think I probably would have finished this one had I done it on Ada, but for some reason I got sent. I bought the kit from the people and I asked for Ada and I got sent even weave. And I was so keen to start, I didn't think about sending it back, but I should have done. I only got that little bottom bit to finish. That's like a day's stitching probably. I made an amendment, so I've put my doggies in. Instead of, I think it was chickens and some flower pots, I've stitched in my two dogs, my two Dachshunds. There's a little cat in the window, and I've put the year instead of the central crocus because I wasn't. No, I'll show you. Central crocus has two stems, and I mean, I suppose that sort of thing can happen in the world, but not in my head. I didn't like it, so I just rejigged it and put the year in. And I've decided when I put the year in, I'm putting the year in that I'm stitching it, or that bit. And so if I finish it in 2024, it doesn't matter. It's just a reminder that I started it in 2023. And I know lots of people like to put when they finish things. But, yeah. It's like my Ragnarok, I've put 2023. Won't finish that for a long time. Then the next one, so that was 36. This is number 37, which is this piece. Let's see if I can find an outside cover or print off. It says, I'm not here to be just average, I'm here to be awesome. Well, in my awesomeness I've had to do a lot of frogging. Can you see just there, there's the leftovers of that I'm. So at the moment it just says just average. At the moment I'm just average. That was something I wanted to get finished before I started my course as well. Gosh, I've got a lot of stitching to do in 3 weeks. I'm really not going to do a lot of stitching in 3 weeks. I've got some coursework to do before I start my course. My neighbour is drilling. That is very rude. But then I suppose we've been drilling and knocking and banging all week, so really can't complain. The next piece, some of you may recognise, is something else I wanted to finish. I wanted this finished by the time I finished my degree. Never going to happen. So it's Mary Poppins by the Little Stitcher. And I'm stitching it on Fox and Rabbit. Is it Ocean Breeze? Where's my bit of cardboard? Oh, I've tied it away. There we go. So I've got this far. I'm stitching it on 40 count, 1/2, and again I have to use my magnifiers. Big Ben has a bit of an issue there, you can see that, but you have to look closely. I did the boxer stitch too long, so he's got a bit more shadow around the bottom of the clock. It's nice because it's got Mary Poppins holding her, I was about to say aeroplane, umbrella, some little words, and it says, open different doors, you may find a you there that you never knew was yours. And that's certainly something that I am taking into life. Keep pushing on those doors and see what opens and what happens. 36, 37, maybe, can't remember. Really ought to pay a bit more attention. 37, number 38. This is by Mum Loves You GB. It's called, sorry if you can hear that, I'm really sorry. I can't remember, but it's Be Not a Dunce, and I've got this far. So I think there's another few rows. It says strive to learn, be not a dunce. And I wanted to make this into a laptop case. again, before I started uni again. So that's not going to happen, but never mind. Maybe when I finish my masters. This piece, that's 37, or is that 38? Hold on. So it's 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. This is, hold on. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oh my gosh, this is piece number 41. And I was stitching this for the Smalls Exchange at the May retreat, and I was getting really stressed because you know, it's a lot of stitching. It wasn't working. Oh, it's beautiful. It's on 36 count, and it's a linen, and it's a monarch butterfly, and I actually really love it. It's coffee craft fabric. Sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's purple. It's got some sparkle. Can't remember who the designer is. So is this number 40, did I say? I think this is the last one as well. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. This must be 41. Gosh, there we are. As far as I'm aware, that is all my WIPs. So, apart from one that I started the other day, but I made a teeny start. It's not worth getting up to go and fetch. I'd put about 30 stitches, and they're all white on a piece of green fabric. So, as I've alluded to a number of times, I am starting a master's course at the University of Leicester in a couple of weeks, and I think if I want to keep floss tubing, what I'm going to have to do is do sort of mini vlogs and link them all together. Is it Calico Whimsy that does that? Somebody I watch on Flosstube does that type of floss tube, and so I think I'm going to try and do that, because I'm not going to get masses of stitchy time, I don't think. Sorry, the dog's now got a chew. Squidge, can you just take that off him for a minute? Thanks, darling. Yeah, I'm not going to have masses of stitching time available, so I think what I'll do is make little vlogs to show the little bits of progress that I make, and we'll go from there. So yeah, 41 WIPs. Not many, if any, are due to be finished anytime soon. I suppose the snowdrop one I could get done, maybe that could be a finish. And I hope to get a finish on this one. But I've got an awful lot to do. Oh no, I've got 43 WIPs. I forgot to. Ooh. I could not tell you where they are. So 41 WIPs plus two massive full coverage pieces that I don't know where they are. They've moved because of the move of kitchen to living room to dining room to everything. So yeah, 41 plus 2, and then that's it. Hoping to get the bunny finished and the snowdrops, and we'll go from there. So I do look forward to seeing you again. Probably try and do monthly videos, maybe. That's a better, more achievable target, especially as the house seems to be full of people and workmen all the time at the moment. But yeah, I will post on my Instagram when I've got another video up, and I look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Have a good stitchy time. Take care. Bye bye.